Chapter 1 My Heritage. My family are private. They tend to keep everything to themselves, so they don't really tell me a lot of things as I was growing up. My parents are from Vietnam and they're Vietnamese. My parents never told me which actual cities they were from. My dad was a city person and married a farmer, which was my mom. I currently do not know who my grandparents, uncles, aunts, and most of my own cousins. I never met them because they all lived in Vietnam and I only been there once when I was 7 years old, but I do not remember a lot of things at that age but being severely sick. Chapter 2. One day I was digging around for pictures of me as a kid in my dad's black suitcase. I found documents of my whole entire family in Hong Kong in a refugee camp. My mom and dad were there for a few years living in harsh condition. They were there because of political issues from North and South Vietnam and fled to Hong Kong. There were a lot of fights according to the documents, and one of my uncles died while he was there. After the years of living in Hong Kong, they finally got out. I was told that a lot of reporters wanted interviews about what was going on over in the refugee camp, and I'm not sure if this was even true or not, but they offered my parents to come to live in America, and they agreed. Chapter 3 The People of My Life. My parents moved to Houston, Texas. They worked at this company called Swans for the longest time, getting paid hardly anything and worked for long hours. They were happy that they were living here. My mom and dad always told me that it's a blessing what America has to offer, and in Vietnam they didn't have anything. Mom told me that they walked to work every day for hours because they didn't have anybody to give them a ride and they were trying to learn English. Throughout the years, they finally got everything together. They started out from nothing and they worked hard and got somewhere in life. Chapter 4 Family Lore. When I was very young, I was told from my brother that I was attacked by a cat. I was told that I scared a cat and it attacked my face and I was bleeding everywhere. From this day, I despise cats. When my mom was going to school, my brother went with her and found a $100 bill on the floor and didn't know any better and took it. He brought it to school and he told the teacher and they accused him of stealing it from the school. He was very young and couldn't explain how and where he got it until he was older. Chapter 5 Suddenly It Became Me. I was born in Houston, Texas on February 9, 1995. Looking at old pictures, I was one ugly baby. My parents named me Hai Nguyen. Hai means ocean. They named me after a city in Vietnam called Hai Phong. When I was born, my mom and dad moved south of Houston. They bought this house, which was a condo. It was a ghetto condo, but living there felt right. This neighborhood was pretty awesome. I called it the Asian Village, or village, because mostly all Asians lived there. Memories that I remember from my first 5 years in that neighborhood was playing kickball every day with my friends. There I also met my first best friend, Kenny. He and I were close friends. We would play hide and seek and pretend we were Power Rangers. My brother told me that I got into a fight with one of the kids one day and I got hit by a 2x4 and was bleeding on my head. Unfortunately, I do not remember this ever happening, but the kid became my friend anyways. As a kid, I fear of Bloody Mary. I would have nightmares and always cover the mirrors in my bathroom whenever I would go into the restroom in the middle of the night. Chapter 6 School Bells. In kindergarten, I was an active kid. I played a lot of games, interacted a lot with the class, and loved going out to recess. Throughout my first grade, I was a quiet person. I didn't talk to a lot of kids in the class. I only talked to the people that I knew, like Kenny. During this time, my mom and dad worked a lot, so they would not come home until late at night. Second grade was mostly a blur. I don't remember anything but hanging around with my friend named Angel. Third grade, I participated in a lot of plays. I was a popular kid, and nothing much happened in third grade. Chapter 7 More School Bills. The beginning of my fourth grade year, I remember it being stressful. I had this teacher named Miss Poole. I had a struggle in her class and throughout the year. I hated the teacher because she gave up so much work for me to handle. I failed her class and attended summer school. When I finished summer school, I found out that I was going to be moving to Farmville, Louisiana. I was excited because I thought it was going to be awesome. When I got to my house, I was disappointed. I was disappointed when I thought the word moving meant a new house. Instead, we got this lame house. Turned out it looked crappy from the outside, but awesome from the inside. I was mind blown. After I settled in and got used to my house, I realized how much I missed my friends. The town Farmville was different. It was a small town where you could walk anywhere, no cars trying to run you over, so you wouldn't feel the need to be cautious. As I entered my new school, Farmville Elementary, as a fifth grader, had eyes stared at me like I'm some kind of alien. I felt like I didn't belong here. My teacher, Miss Edwards, thought I didn't speak English. I swear people here were racist or just plain stupid. Throughout the year in that school, I experienced so much hate from the people that I begged my parents to move back. My parents didn't want to move back because they made a lot of money there. There was something I also noticed going to that school. The people there were not used to seeing Asian, so that they assumed that I was Mexican. I always ask myself whenever if someone asked me if I was Mexican, I would reply, "Did your mom ever drop you as a baby?" Sixth grade. I've gotten used to the people. I met a few friends. They taught me how to hunt, fish, and four-wheeling. For Christmas, my friends gave me a straight-up camel and a pair of boots. That day, I accepted the fact that I'm some sort of Asian hick. Chapter 8. I grew up here. My house from the outside looked pink. It looked like a tiny hurricane had just damaged the house, but the inside looked amazing. The walls were pink and everyone's walls were pink. I don't know why, but I didn't care. My room was pitch dark always. It was scary at night, but as I grew up over the years living in the house, I got used to it. Chapter 9. Junior High. 7th grade went by fast. Everyone was nice to me now and gotten used to me. I was at ease now. I was told from my parents that we were moving back to Houston, and I was kind of sad. I was sad that I had to leave all my friends now. The year the school found out and I was oblivious of what the school was going to do for me, they threw me a big party. 8th grade. I moved back to a brand new house. I was happy. Everything was new. The neighborhood was new, and the stuff my parents bought was new. I went to Westbrook Intermediate. There, I was going through a phase which all kids in middle school go through. Everything about this school was so strange. The teachers, the discipline, the lunch system, and the passing period system. There I met some new friends, and I started to understand who my real friends were. I always hung out with them at lunch, talked to them, and always depended on them. They were good friends. I was also a bander. I took band in Farmerville and decided to see how it's like in Westbrook. Apparently, it was horrible. I had a band director that didn't have the band spirit or motivation and saw band as a whatever course. Chapter 10. I wish I could see my old 5th grade German Jewish English teacher. She was the one that made me realize what I'm good at. She saw how good my stories, my creativity, and skills I have for writing. She told me I should look into journalism. There I told myself maybe that's the path I should start taking for the rest of my life. I would want to visit her and tell her that without her I wouldn't be on this amazing path I've set out. Chapter 11. This lady named Miss Dinah who worked across my mom's nail salon. She's a DART member, which is Domestic Abuse Resistance Team. She was pretty close to me and my brother. She would take us to many events, spend the night over her house, and let me and my brother fish at our pier. She taught us many things: to respect, to have patience, and be grateful for the good things in life. I was still young at the time, but now I'm starting to see how much she had affected me and my brother. Chapter 12. New Kid on the Block. 9th grade, my freshman year at Clearbrook High School. I wasn't that nervous. My friend Erica was nervous, who I walked to the class on the first day. My thoughts about this school was that it was easy to find your classes because everything was set in order, and of course I saw half the people in my advisor who I hated in middle school. I had Miss Martin, who I did not like. I even had her for English and advisory. I guess it was her personality teaching made me not like her. The people I hated became my friends. Throughout freshman year, I got my first girlfriend. I told myself middle school didn't really count. Dating felt all new to me because of how much you can do now in high school and since you're older. But it didn't work out for me. I met my first best friend, Thomas May. Afterwards, I met my second best friend, Ryan Bell. Surprisingly, Ryan Bell was the guy who broke my fingers in middle school, and he didn't even know me back then. It's funny how people you hate will become your best friends afterwards. My 5th grade English teacher, Miss Wolverton, who told me to look into journalism. I was actually taking a course in high school, which was Journalism 1. In that class, I had Miss Hulk, who did the Michael Jackson Thriller mixed-up day thing. All because of my class, I was on news for 10 seconds. But I mean, that was enough for me to start telling myself, this is the actual dream job I should be going afterwards. Chapter 13, Sophomore Year. My sophomore year was pretty much relaxing. Not too much was going on. I was taking another course related to journalism, Journalism News Part 1. However, finding out that Ms. Hulk wasn't my teacher anymore, I had a new teacher who didn't really teach me anything for the year, but maybe my friend Malcolm make a school website for our school and post up stories, news, pictures, and anything related to Clearbrook. I was pretty much bored and not motivated. This teacher who I thought was lame was Mr. Durr. Ooh, how I was wrong about this man. Throughout the year, I found out that he had some experience in camera work, editing, and etc. He told me to join CBTV or Intro to Audio Video Production. Chapter 14, Junior Year. Junior year, I felt lazy. I started to feel like I didn't care for a lot of things anymore. Nothing much was going on that year with me. I was taking new courses, got new teachers, more complaints to my new teachers, and I got serious about filmmaking. I didn't really do much this year but focus on my tags and not really caring for a lot of things. Chapter 15. At last, I'm a senior. In the beginning of my senior year, I told my friends and myself that I want to make this year a blast and remember it for the rest of my life. I made a bunch of lists what I was going to do. I completed a majority of the lists but didn't get to finish it, but it was okay that I didn't get to finish them. Looking back throughout the years in high school, I'm sort of shocked that 4 years felt like it was yesterday. The year of being a senior feels great. It makes you feel like you're superior to everybody else, and that feeling that it's just your last year in high school. However, there are some rough times and moments where I just stress out and have senioritis. Those research papers, essays, and those assignments stressed me out so much it made me feel like I just want to give up. But I told myself I can't give up because I'm so far. In a matter of days till graduation, I'm excited. I have to say that high school changed me and a lot of people.